Hello and welcome back again to our channel, and I hope each and every one of you is doing great. In this channel, our goal is to make tutoring very easy. Subjects that we are going to tutor, math, probability, and the subjects that our channel is designed for is to make those subjects easy and enjoyable in the journey. Please, if this is your first time coming in contact with our channel, we will please be grateful for you to subscribe so that you can help our channel grow. If you're already a subscriber, please want to thank you for helping us grow this channel. If you have specific topics that you want us to do a video on, please do not hesitate to drop that in the comment section below, and we'll be more than willing to do videos on that for you. Today, in this video, we are going to do microeconomics topics. And the first topic we are going to be treating is on the theory of demand. The theory of demand. What is a theory of demand? The theory of demand is investigating. We want to investigate the desire of consumers. So we have people called the consumers. A consumer, there's somebody who is a consumer. A consumer is anyone that consumes a good. Anyone who consumes a good, consumes a good, a product, or a commodity. Consumes a good product or commodity. On the other hand, the consumer has a desire, is willing, has a desire, and is willing to purchase the good or the product or the commodity. That is his desire. And this desire is also backed by, he's backing that desire, backed by a purchasing power. So if we're talking about the theory of demand, we are looking at a consumer who is willing to purchase a good or a product, and he has a purchasing power, backed by a purchasing power. What is a purchasing power? That means the consumer should be in the position to have the money to patronize the product or the commodity. So these three things satisfies the theory of demand. Now, what are some of the factors that can influence a demand? What are some of the factors that can influence a consumer who is desiring or being willing to purchase a product, to consume the product, and at the same time has the purchasing power to be able to patronize that product? What are the factors that can influence this? So let's say we are going to look at factors affecting demand. Factors that can affect demand, affecting demand. And the first one is the price. The price of the commodity, or the good. The price of the commodity can influence the demand. Yes, a consumer will be willing, a consumer who is willing and desiring to purchase a product backed by a purchasing power will be more than willing to purchase the product based on the price. If the price is good and it meets the expectations or the satisfaction of the consumer, why not? The consumer is going to patronize, is going to buy that product. So that's the price. And we are saying that because of this, we have what we call the law of demand. We have what we call the law. We have what we call the law of demand because of price, the law of demand. The law of demand. It says that all things being equal, says that all things being equal, which in Latin it means ceteris paribus, ceteris paribus, all things being equal, ceteris paribus. The law of demand says that when the price of a commodity, price When it goes up, quantity demanded will come down. Demand will fall. The quantity demanded, the quantity, which is usually written as QTY, will fall. So the arrows going down is fall, the arrows going up means increase, and vice versa. On the other hand, if the price drops, if the price goes down, the consumer is going to buy more. The consumer is going to buy more. The consumer is going to purchase, it's going to have high quantity demanded. High quantity demanded. So you have high price. So that's the law of demand. This is the law of demand. And we are saying that the price of a commodity can affect a demand. That means that if the price is very low, it is more likely for the consumer to purchase a product, all things being equal. All things being equal. Now the second factor that can cause a consumer to purchase a product is what is known as the consumer's income. The consumer's income. The consumer's income. So the work, if the consumer has more income, then the consumer might be willing to spend more. If the consumer is having more money, he'll spend more. So when there's high income, the consumer buys more. On the other hand, if there is low income, the consumer buys less. So you can see the relationship we are painting here with price. There is what we call an inverse relationship with price. Inverse because when price goes up, quantity comes down. Yes, but with consumer income, it's direct. It's a positive relation. When income goes up, quantity goes up. And we'll look at that later. But let's continue. The third reason is the price of related goods. Price of related goods. What kind of goods are known as related goods? They are known as substitute goods. Substitute goods. Or what we call complementary goods. They are known as the price of related goods. So if a consumer is trying to patronize a product, maybe potato, or I think potato is a very bad example. Let's say the consumer is trying to consume Coke, a bottle of Coke. There are price of related goods like what? Like Pepsi. Pepsi is a substitute good. So when you have a similar, substitute goods are similar, or what we call homogeneous, or what is known as identical goods. They are identical. So an example of such good is Coke, a bottle of Coke and Pepsi. They look similar, but they are different in brand. One is Coke, one is Pepsi. So a substitute good is a good that is similar, is homogeneous, is identical. And these goods or products, when the price, let's say the consumer is desiring to buy Coke. Okay, let's say let's put it this way. The consumer is probably desiring to buy, let's say, Coke, for example. Is desiring to buy this, right? But the price of Coke is, let's say, $10. No, let's say $5. $5. And then Pepsi is, let's say, $4.50. What is going to happen is that even though the consumer wants to consume Coke, he might want to go for all things being equal. The word here is all things being equal. We are holding other factors constant, and we are just looking at price. If we are just considering price and we are not considering any other factor, it is more likely that the consumer will just purchase the Pepsi and consume it. So what it means is that when the price of a substitute good is very high, price of Pepsi, when it's very high, it will lead to more consumption of Coke. Why? Because it means that price of Coke is cheap. because price of Coke is cheap because Coke is cheap compared to, it's lower, the price is lower, so they will consume more Coke. On the other hand, when of the price of Pepsi is very less compared to Coke, then the consumer will rather want to consume less of Coke because he has an alternative to switch. We call the switching cost. He will switch to go and consume the other thing. But in this case, if the price of Pepsi is cheaper, he will not consume Coke. He will switch to what? Pepsi. And it's known as the switching cost. We have something called the switching cost. So that's one aspect, the substitute good. So substitute good works in similar to the consumer's income. So here we are saying that when you have substitute goods, you have what we call a direct relationship, right? So here, this is called direct relationship, or directly proportional or positive relationship. But with the price of the commodity, this price, it is rather an inverse relationship or a negative relationship. Now with substitute goods, we have what we call it's also what a direct. It's a direct relationship or a positive relationship. On the other hand, complementary goods are the reverse. If you look at complementary goods, like maybe if you have to drink Coke, then you have to also take bread. So let's say imagine that Coke goes with bread. So when you're buying Coke, it's more likely that for the person to buy bread. If you're buying a car, it's more likely for you to buy a tire. If you're buying a chair, you're more likely to buy a table. These are complementary goods. So when the price with complementary goods, they are goods that work together. When the price of the first product, if the price of product one goes up, it means that you're going to buy less of quantity one. You're going to buy less of quantity one, and it also means you're going to buy less of quantity two. Yes, once you're not buying more tables because the price of table has gone up. You're going to buy less tables. You're also going to buy less chairs. If the price of a car has gone up, you're more likely not to buy more cars, and because you're not buying more cars, you're also not going to buy more tires. So that is also what a positive relationship, positive or direct. And then the reverse is also true. So substitute goods and complementary goods are similar in terms of relationship between between the goods, price of related goods. Now, let's look at the next factor. Let's look at the next one. The next one, after we talked about price of the product, we've spoken about the consumer's income, we've spoken about the price of related goods. We are looking at taste and preferences. The next one is taste and preferences. So let's say tastes and preferences. So if the consumer prefers a particular product, he will consume more. So if he prefers a particular product, he will consume, and this is also direct. If he prefers one commodity, he will produce more. He will consume more of that product. He will consume more of that product. Another one too is the number of consumers in the market. The number of consumers in the market. That means population. Imagine you have a high population. If the population is high, people consume more. High population. If you have high population, you are going to consume more. And that is also a direct relationship. It's also direct relationship right there. Another thing could be weather. The weather. Another thing could be weather. When the weather is sunny and very hot, people like to consume ice cream. Yes, they would like to consume ice cream. More ice cream is going to go up. If the weather is cold, people like to drink more hot coffee or hot chocolate. Yes. So that also has a positive relationship or a direct relationship as well. All right. Now, I've given you some factors, about 6 of them. We are going to quickly look at the demand curve. We are going to look at quickly at the demand curve. So the demand curve or we can come back again. We can let's I think we should end here. I'll come back again and then we'll look at the demand curve. Why the demand curve is downward sloping and not upward sloping. And then we're going to make little comments and discussion on there. Please, if it's your first time coming into contact with our channel, please help us by subscribing so that we can grow our channel as a family together. If you have specific topics you want us to do videos on, feel free and drop it in the comment section. I'll be more than willing to do videos on that for you. At this moment, I'll come to you another time. Take care and bye.